Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Debate podcast. Top 5 of the week here for week 29. This is the Devious One IBC here alongside with my brothers from another mothers. I have, of course, the carbonation maker. He's the pain maker, and I don't know what he's chewing on now, but he is the Max Kellerman of the Circle of Debate podcast. That is Mr. MGC. Walk with Elias, Matthew Steamboat.
Just walk with me, you guys.
Walk with him. Walk with him. And then, then also we have the hero of all heroes that saves us from all this bullshit, especially from Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, especially from Retribution. He destroyed on Raw Underground. That's the man with the 12-inch pythons. And that is the great American hero, Mike Lopez.
Feast your eyes and fantasize. The great American hero's got your back.
There you go. There you go. It's Rhyme Week, ladies and gentlemen. You saw
Billy Graham.
You saw the episode, obviously, on Friday. You did see that. So it's all Rhyme Week. Thank you guys for tuning in for the top 5 of the week before Survivor Series starts. So hopefully you guys enjoy Survivor Series. We'll be on the IG channel. We'll be there, gives our thoughts, the aftermath of Survivor Series, and if we enjoyed it or not. So hopefully we will. You never know. So speaking of Survivor Series, our top 5 of the week, this week for week 29 is our favorite Survivor Series, the best Survivor Series of all time. So I'm going to start it off myself, be the first one, because I already have my list. So my number 5 would be the 1994 Survivor Series when it was a casket match, Undertaker and Yokozuna, when Chuck Norris was the enforcer. I actually enjoyed that match. And you guys remember when even Taker lost because Yokozuna's goons came out, and I think Jeff Jarrett got his ass handed by Chuck Norris at that time. And then that time when in the Titantron screen, Undertaker was speaking that he'll be back, rest in peace. He leaves, and then you see like a mini body of Undertaker going up and flying away, and like, it's supposed to be going to hell, not heaven. But I guess we were wrong about that. But that one I did enjoy. That was a great Survivor Series '94. My number 4 will be the 2005 Survivor Series, which was, I think, the first ever Team Raw and Team SmackDown, the first dual brand of Survivor Series. At this time, which rest in peace, Mr. Eddie Guerrero was supposed to be in that team when it was alongside with Batista, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton and JBL. But, what happened, rest in peace. Because of that, they added Bobby Lashley. And that was the time when it was Shawn Michaels, Big Show, Kane, Carlito, and Chris Masters. And that actually was a great match. I enjoyed it. Much. I love a lot of it. I love that, actually, that 05 Survivor Series. So it was not bad at all. Now, my number 3 will be the 2017 Survivor Series, because I've been wanting to see AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. We finally get to see it, and it wasn't, at least it wasn't a short match. It was good. AJ put up a lot, offensive moves. Lesnar did his usual, his suplex cities, bitch, and but I mean, overall, the match for me was solid. I enjoyed it, and the rest of the card was solid as well. So kudos to them. I think that was the time when it was. I'm thinking if it was Rollins, I think Nakamura. I think it was at that time. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. But that was definitely a great Survivor Series. I enjoyed that one. And my number 2 would be the infamous, the famous, the screw job Survivor Series 1997. Bret Hart getting screwed over by the WWE title, putting it in the air. WCW going to WCW, spitting in his face, and that's when the whole shebang happened. That's when the McMahon era has begun. Bret screwed Bret. I have no sympathy whatsoever. And well, you do now, Papa Vinny. And my numero 1, that is the 1998 Survivor Series when The Rock turned heel versus Mankind, and when they had the tournament. And that was the first time they held a long tournament for that pay-per-view. And I was actually excited because I wanted to see Austin and The Rock in the finals, but Austin got screwed. And And then obviously Mankind got screwed over as well when they did the repeat of the Montreal with ringing the bell, The Rock becoming a heel, joining the McMahon faction. That's when Austin came out and stunned the shit out of all of it, cloning The Rock. But I loved it. I actually enjoyed that tournament. It was awesome. I was really excited. I'm like, oh my God, they're having a tournament. So it was, I enjoyed that Survivor Series very much. My 2 honorable mentions that I have. The 2 honorable mentions that I have is the 2014 Survivor Series. That was when it was Stang when he debuted. That was when it was the Team Authority versus John Cena. Team John Cena. Team Authority loses. They're out of WWE. And that's when Stang came and made his debut in the WWE for the first time ever, stepping in the ring of a WWE ring and giving the Scorpion Death Drop on Triple H, making John Cena's team to win, and no more Authority. Bye-bye. But then we see him later on. Then the other second honorable mention would be the 2018 Survivor Series that was here at the Staples Center. That was when we saw Ronda Rousey getting booed from her LA native fans as they were cheering on for Charlotte, her beating the shit out of her. And I mean, that was a great match overall too. And also we finally got to see another match we've been dying to see, Lesnar and Daniel Bryan. Great. I enjoyed the match. It was great. Like, Daniel Bryan's heelish. So I really enjoyed that match very well as well. So those are my picks for Survivor Series. So let's go ahead and take it away, Mr. Steamboat.
All right. So I got a very unique list in mind. Well, not too unique. So I only got 5 through 1 today because it's the pick. I won't say slim pickings, but I know what I like out of Survivor Series. From the menu that's available. So I'm going to start off with number 5, Survivor Series 2000. The main event was Stone Cold versus Triple H in a no DQ match. Obviously, you can't live up to some of the other DQ matches, but Stone Cold and Triple H, those two work pretty well together. Number 4, we actually have Triple H coming in again. Number 4, Survivor Series 2003, where Goldberg defeats Triple H for the heavyweight title. Oh. Actually, I watched this on Black Box, and I got to say, this was during Triple H's reign of terror, and I was happy for this, at least this break. I was kind of hoping Goldberg would hold on to this title a little while longer, but you know how booking was back then. Babyfaces didn't really hold on to titles for a while, and Triple H was holding it hostage. But this was a good, relief in it. I was happy to see Goldberg hold the championship again. And, I was a huge mark back then. I was like, all right, Goldberg's the powerful baby face. I'm cheering him on no matter what happens. And I was really happy to see this happen, like Goldberg take down Triple H. So number 3, Survivor Series 1992, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart.
I forgot about that one.
I don't think this was the first time that those two faced each other. I mean, I remember they had like a ladder match for the Intercontinental title. I remember downloading that old match off of Kazaa. So the 1992 one, I don't think I remember as clearly, but I think that one was pretty cool.
And they were the first ones to have a ladder match. So it was not Razor and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It was Bret that implemented the ladder match because they had it at his father's progressive promotion.
And I remember the really cool, like, unique bumps that Shawn was taking throughout that match, since it was like Bret's to take. So number 1 and number 2 are very, implanted in my mind when I think of like Survivor Series type matches, just because of the type of teams that are involved. And so number 2 was Team Lesnar versus Team Angle. Ooh. That was your ultimate like underdog versus large size dudes in general. Back then when I was watching it, I was like, all right, Nathan Jones. I thought Nathan Jones was still a babyface. I'm pretty sure that was Matt Morgan, Nathan Jones, Brock Lesnar, of course, Big Show, and A-Train.
Yeah.
versus Hardcore Holly, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and the other two.
John Cena was one of them.
Yeah, John Cena.
I think
JBL?
Eddie Guerrero. I think Eddie Guerrero.
Oh,
No, was it Eddie Guerrero?
Maybe
I
it was.
really doubt that.
I don't remember.
Let me look at it. It was 2003.
Was it Bradshaw? If it was Bradshaw, then that was before he became JBL.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it wasn't. No, you're right.
Yeah, John Cena and Bradshaw. Yeah.
Okay, it was Bradshaw. Okay, I thought it was.
It was a lot of. I was actually cheering for that underdog team, but I guess like because the big guy team had a lot newer guys, that's probably why they gave it to him. And I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to see like Hardcore Holly get his payback, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I want, you know, I was a huge, like I said, I was a huge mark back then, and I wanted to see like Brock Lesnar get beat. You know, I wanted to see him, like, his team go down. I was cheering for, like, the good guys. I was cheering for the smaller babyface guy team.
But didn't he tap out to Benoit, right? He did tap out to Benoit.
I think because it was an elimination match, yeah.
I think, and that was also, like, Cena's first time turning face for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially because the way it was aligned. So, number one. Let's do this. Survivor Series Alliance versus WWF.
Oh, I love it.
This was my number one just because I was really emotionally invested in it. I remember like I was in 5th grade. I was talking to my friend. I was in 5th. Yeah, I was 5th grade, 5th or 6th grade, and I was talking to my friends like, Matt, you have to watch Survivor Series tonight. I got my black box. I could probably tape it for you because this is big. We don't know if the WCW and ECW is going to replace WWF. You know,
To be young again, isn't it?
Yeah. My God, we were huge marks back then. I was like, my God, we really thought it was going to be the end for them. You know, and then just seeing The Rock and Chris Jericho like struggle, you know, those two had to put their differences aside to defeat the greater evil in this match. You know, the lesser of two evils, those two against each other, uniting to defeat them. And I thought it was pretty cool. And I could see why, like, there were still, Rob Van Dam was, like, over. He was somewhere in between, you know, good guy and bad guy because people liked him so much. And then, you know, Edge uniting the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title earlier that night against Test. You know, I really loved that match. In fact, I really loved that whole pay-per-view. It was so emotionally investing because it was really like you saw one side destroy the other was the whole thing. Like in my mind, psychologically, I was like, it was like them getting fired was the closest thing in wrestling to them dying, you know, because I was really seeing, it was like life or death, titles being destroyed or united, you know, the tag team titles being united and all this different thing, like Hardy Boys and Dudley Boys and, you know, just all the events that night, you know, Team WWF, you know, seeing Shane in that match was really crazy too, you know.
I think that was when we saw X-Pac and Billy Kidman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot, really crazy night. So yeah, that's my number one. You know, Rock and Stone Cold and Kurt Angle turning
something.
He was like the implanted, the mole that McMahon just sent in to destroy them. Like, you guys have no idea he's the. It seemed pretty obvious though that he was gonna turn on Team Alliance though.
Oh yeah, man, I love it, man. Good pick. Good fucking picks. I love it. Mr. Hero, take it away. The floor is yours.
First of all, I just want to congratulate The Undertaker for 30 years. Here's to The Undertaker, 30 years. And I actually look forward to this Survivor Series, seeing what they do with him. And, you know, hopefully Retribution comes out during his speech. They all get choke slammed, maybe a tombstone here and there. So that's here's hoping, right? But number 5 is Survivor Series 1998. The Rock wins the championship, the WWF championship for the first time. And leading up to it, I remember Mankind having this kind of like a comedic character where, you know, he would kiss ass to McMahon and try to impress him and whatnot. And and it all kind of led up to him being screwed out of the title. You know, and you thought that Mankind was gonna get it, but Rock ended up being part of that screw job there, right? But yeah, so it was pretty cool, and it just what ended up happening after that was awesome too. That Mankind was this comedic character, but it just in that turned him into like a better character, I feel. So it all started there. So Survivor Series 98. Number 4, Survivor Series 2016. I really enjoyed seeing AJ part of the Survivor Series team. So Team SmackDown versus Team Raw was my favorite match of the night. You got Ambrose, aka Moxley now, Orton, Bray Wyatt, Shane McMahon versus Team Raw, Kevin Owens, Jericho, Rollins, Reigns, and Strowman. Awesome teams all together. And also, I remember Goldberg and Lesnar taking place in that pay-per-view.
Yes.
And that's what kind of just set off that storyline of Goldberg's dominance over Lesnar, which, ultimately ended at WrestleMania. So number 4. Number 3, the next 3 are going to be super nostalgic for me. It takes me back. First one being Survivor Series 2002. It took place in Madison Square Garden, and I remember them having the little doors there, and they open and whatnot. So not a traditional stage. Elimination Chamber. Shawn Michaels came back, winning the World Heavyweight title. I remember we were all talking about it at school the following day. Like some people that did not see it were surprised and like, oh, why did I miss it? So 2002 was a good year for Survivor Series. I always remember also, I don't know why this stands out in my head, but Scott Steiner saying, "Give me the fucking mic." Then not being bleeped on time. So I don't know. I always remember that.
Pay-per-view, baby.
Pay-per-view and Scott Steiner. Not a good mix. Survivor Series 2001 is my number 2 pick. So close to being number 1 because I've seen this pay-per-view so many times, man. That like Matt was saying, you think that WWF is going to die, that day, or the potential of that happening.
You don't know
the chance. Yeah, you don't know what was going to happen. But in hindsight, looking back, it's obviously that it wasn't going to happen. But just being a fan, full-on fan at the time. I mean, still am, right?
Yeah.
But it was just the perfect mix of the storyline, the wrestlers that took part in it. You had Rock and Stone Cold at the very end, and then Kurt Angle, the American hero, the real American hero, coming out, hitting Austin with the title, celebrations and whatnot.
Mike, I wanted to say that, like us as kids watching that's kind of like when you're a kid and you watch a horror movie and you get scared of it and you believe it, our suspension of disbelief when we're young, that's that fear. Like we could lose the WWF because we're young and we're that's kind of the beauty, like you said, to be young again,
Yeah, absolutely. I still remember where I saw that match, and the small little party we had with friends at that time. So good, really good memories.
Good times.
And my number 1 pick, Survivor Series 2003. People talk about WrestleMania 17. Yeah, 17. But for me, this kind of beats it by a hair, man. Survivor Series 2003, you had the ambulance match between Kane and Shane McMahon.
That was a good match.
Team Angle versus Team Lesnar to open the pay-per-view. Team Bischoff versus Team Austin. My goodness, that ending. It was just like, I was on the edge, literally on the edge of my seat, rooting Shawn Michaels on for him to win. only for Batista to come on down and Batista bomb him, and that was that. And Undertaker versus Vince McMahon, which is really one-sided. Vince was just getting his ass kicked until Kane came out, and they were in different brands. So that was such a surprise to see Kane, betrayed the Undertaker, and that set up the WrestleMania 20 match, where the Dead Man came back. You also had, let's see, Goldberg, Triple H, I believe. And overall, I remember just watching that pay-per-view so many times. So that's my number one. Awesome. Honorable mentions. Survivor Series 2005. I remember. Obviously, that final moment right there. Randy Orton with the people celebrating and people having him on their shoulders, and then all of a sudden the gong comes on. And lights turn off, and it's the Undertaker coming back. That moment right there, that look of fear from Orton is priceless. I also remember liking Flair versus Triple H in that match too. So awesome pay-per-view there. And my second honorable mention, Survivor Series 2011. I remember buying this on DVD and watching it a few times also. And the main event was Rock and Cena versus Miz and R-Truth.
Oh.
And, yeah. So I was so looking forward to this one because, Rock was coming back, and he's teaming up with Cena, but they have their match coming up. What? So it was very entertaining. And then I believe this was the start of CM Punk's 344 or 434, somewhere around there, title reign, and he won it against Alberto Del Rio. So awesome night there too, and that's my list.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Wow, I love the fact you have 2001, 3, and 5. Like, I love it. That's awesome. But yes, I did. 03, I forgot about that. The Austin and Team Bishop, man. But that stunner, I was the same. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna win! Like, yes. And then Batista came out, fucked everything. But overall, it was a great match. A great fucking match. I'll tell you that. Love it. Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you very much for tuning in for our top 5 picks of the week for week 29 here on Circle Debate. Don't forget to stay tuned, which is tomorrow on Monday. Make sure you tune in on our social media platforms. We will have a big announcement that it will surprise all of you guys, and it's going to surprise all of us as well. Which we're looking forward, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And don't forget our following week for the top 5. For week 30, it will be top 5 moments that made us cry. So we'll be doing that. And then the following one, which is for week 31, we'll do our top 5 botches. So we'll do that. So make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. At the end of this video, make sure you hit that, subscription button, and also don't forget to hit the likes as well. And also don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. All the links are also below as well of this video. And so once again, we appreciate you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Survivor Series, and hopefully we get to enjoy it as well too. We'll give you once again our thoughts about Survivor Series coming up later on today. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's a good one. I'm looking forward, like how Mike said, I'm with him on that, the Undertaker. I want to see how it's farewell. And yes, we do want to see Retribution get their asses handled by them. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And also, tune in for the big announcement on Monday tomorrow. And we'll see you guys next week. Once again, this is Devious One IBC here with the Carbonation Cabron, the Painmaker, the Walk with Matthew Steamboat, not Elias. Walk with him, baby. Because he's gonna be starting rhyming and diamond and shining. He's gonna be right now in the kitchen sliming everywhere. Because he's gonna have some fine dining. That's how it is. And also we have the hero of all heroes that crushed this list tonight again, and that is the great American hero himself, Mike Lopez. There you go with the Undertaker autograph. Saying to you guys, good night. Well, good day, because it's going to be the morning. So good day and good night. Bang. And we'll see you next week.